Welcome back to another stream from Tachyon Lance. Today we're just going to be having a short video on a review of the Cybernetic and Synthetic Ascensions. I've been playing them over the last few days, so just giving my thoughts on what I think's good and what I think is bad and where we need to see improvement for the beta patch. So we did play a multiplayer game last night and over the last few nights, and I've been using Cybernetic. So I'm going to load into that game, have a quick look at that, and then I'll have a look at the Synthetic Ascension, which I did a stream on yesterday. Okay, so overall this is my empire here. It's 2279. I've completed the Cybernetic Ascension here. I completed this about year, I think I started about year 45, and I think I completed it around year 55 by the time I actually finished everything. So I do like the Cybernetic Ascension. I think it's a really good addition to Stellaris, and it helps to flesh out this machine cybernetic type of races that we've got, and gives you more options. We've obviously got machines now with synthetic, and you've got cybernetic, so biologicals can take that option and upgrade, and you can get determined exterminators and things like that using it as well, which would be really good. And I'll probably do a video on that one actually, determined exterminators going to cybernetic in the near future, because I think that would be really, really good. So the cybernetic, what I like about cybernetic, we'll just go through the tree. So adopting cybernetic tradition will grant the following additional effects: resource from cyborg pops 10%, that's really nice, and organic species trait pick +1. Okay, so that's one pick. Then we get gain access to simulation citizen species rights, allowing future additions to the populace to be turned into cyborgs. Now this is really, really, really good, but it's also really, really, really broken. So, and I'll show you what I mean. This is my main species, cybernetic. Okay, I started off this game as a technocracy with xenophobe, materialist, and egalitarian. Now I am egalitarian and fanatic xenophobe. My species changed because I conquered some people here and assimilated them. And you can see here in the species tab, right, all these pops here that I've assimilated. Now you can see here they're cybernetic, cybernetic, cybernetic. So they're all cybernetic. I have assimilated all of these populations into cybernetics. So they should be similar to, I guess, my species. I'm putting mechanical cybernetic parts in these people to improve them and assimilate them into my culture, my empire. However, what has happened, and we'll go down here, we can see here in the factions, even though all my population is cybernetic, look at this. Approval 0%, 35 pops. 0%, 61 pops. 15%, 163 pops. Now these ethics, or faction groups, are pretty much completely the opposite of what my main groups are. You know, I'm a technology supremacist type race with a bit of egalitarian. Now, these guys are spiritualist. You got some pacifism, and you've got isolationism, and so it's completely the opposite of what I want. And you can see easily here all these, and I've tried to make them as good as I can. But if I change these policies to fix these guys, then it makes all my main species very, very unhappy. So let's go have a look at some of these captured worlds, right? Let's have a look here. I think this was a previous capital world. So I'm still setting up sectors and stuff for this, but so we go into the populations. Let's have a look here. Now let's have a look at this guy. He's not very happy. He's 10%. So very low faction approval, minus 40%. Alright, so, and residents minus 10%. Notice it doesn't even have the conquered world debuff anymore, so I don't even have that. So I'm at 51%, so that's pretty good for this empire. I've been having lots of revolt problems and trying to prevent revolts happening. And you can see very low faction approval. So, how do you fix this? I've already got managed factions. I'm supporting my factions, trying to promote them for a long time. Now we've got here xenophobe attraction, it's 40%, egalitarians 25%, and all the rest are pretty low. So, because I'm mainly these two now. I was materialist, but that went, and I was a technocracy, but I had to change that because all my my civic was no longer working because of I lost my materialist, as you can see here. Now, the funny thing was is that even though I lost technocracy, and it said the civic was red, when you go into your government here, it was red. So I thought, okay, let's change into, I thought I'll go idealistic foundation to get some more happiness, because I was having lots of happiness problems. So I did that. But when I did that, all of my planets lost their science directorate. So even though technocracy wasn't working, I still had the science directorates all working, and then they all had downgraded. They all lost their jobs because that position was no longer available in the leadership here. So then I had all these all these pops here that were unhappy because of that. So this is a snowball effect of the assimilation mechanic, I don't think, working properly. You can see I've got assimilation on. Here's my default, which is good, and the living standards is here, trans-subnatial synthesis, which when you're assimilating the pops, you get this unhappiness bonus. That's just the way it is, because they're being assimilated into your way of life, basically. So my biggest gripe with this is when you assimilate species into your empire, you're assimilating them. Their ethics and factions should mostly change to your empire, or there should be a much higher conversion rate than what I've seen here. So I have done a post to Paradox about it, so we'll see if they fix this, because this is just very messy. And I am, what am I running? See, capacity subsidies, no. I did do a tradition as well. You can see I'm here, I'm running one vision to help with that, governing ethics attraction plus 50%. And I've done a few other technologies and things like that. I'm going to try and modify species as well to try and maybe make them a bit more amenable to my way of thinking. So there's not much more that I can do from my end as a player to try and make these species like my empire, or convert to my empire. Now, over time this may happen, but it's going to take a long time to convert all these populations. So that's my biggest gripe. Synthetic, when you not synthetic, cybernetic, when you upgrade, assimilate these pops, they should move more into your way of thinking, not be like this. This is just crap. It's a disaster. All these pops like that. Like, so that's what are we talking? We're talking 160, 220, 270. So we're talking 300 populations here that should be converting to my way of thinking. So that's my biggest gripe about cybernetic at the moment. Really like it, but this needs to be fixed. These guys need to be getting assimilated into my factions, not me getting assimilated to them, because my empire now has changed and been assimilated to their way of thinking, because they won't assimilate into my empire. But I conquered them and forced them to be cybernetic, and now they've forced my government to change their ethics. That doesn't make sense. So that's my gripe. They need to fix that. Let's go back and have a look at the rest of the tree. Okay, so got that out of my... That's the biggest problem I've seen. And that's what I experienced last night, this multiplayer game. So it's a real headache. So the only way I can think about fixing it is maybe I just release them as vassals and control them that way. That's probably what I have to do, I guess. Unlock cybernetic traits for species modification. Yep, that's really good. We'll have a look at that in a second. So modify species cost minus 50%. Very good. Organic species trait pick +1. So far we've got 2 organic species trait picks. Cyborg upkeep minus 10%. Okay. Unlocks policy assembly standard cybernetic components, allowing roboticists to produce new cyborg pops. I really like this as well. So from the start of the game, I was building on my main planets here, the robotic assembly plant. So I did try to get that tech early, and so I built assembly plants on all my main planets here, so that I knew when I converted to I started going to cybernetics, that I would be assembling pops. Now it takes a long time to assemble these pops, but it's still going to be pop growth, and I will get technologies to upgrade these buildings as well over time. So we should be able to increase our population growth that way. Because currently we're that's not the best population growth yet. It's only 2 per month, and that's 5.28 per month. So it's 7.28 per month total. So that's just you know, probably average. So, but it's still a bonus. I'm assembling my main cybernetic pops, which is really good. And when you think of all these captured worlds here, eventually when I put robotics down on all of these worlds and start assembling all of my main pops, then that's going to be really good. I would really like to not allow these populations to grow, but if I put on population controls, it's going to make him even unhappier. And my whole empire will probably go into civil war or something like that. So yeah, not much more we can do with this, because set rights, I can't really make them anything above residence. Living standards, we could make them utopian abundance, I guess. Go from social welfare. What cost would that give me? So specialists 0.5, workers 0.5, slaves 0.1. So we've got workers and specialists, so 0.5 mostly. So make it utopian abundance. That's going to make their upkeep 1. So I'm going to double my consumer goods usage. Pop happiness would go up, what's that, 10%? Pops had plus 20% happiness. Yeah, so that's plus 10. So I could get 10% happiness for that if I really want to smash my economy. You're talking what, hundreds and hundreds of pops. So I could do that if I wanted to. That's about the only really thing I think I can do. No population control, everything else is good. Let's look at the genetic modifications. So for cybernetic, now I haven't done any modifications since the start of the game, and I've only got the cybernetic tree and the technologies I've got. So have a quick look. I have got a few technologies to modify my species. One there, I got that one, and obviously gene tailoring, or gene, yeah, 1 point there. So gene modification 0.1, gene modification 0.1. Okay, so there's 2 points there. So for this, the only modification points I've got from the cybernetic tree was technologies I already did. The only thing I got from cybernetic was trait picks left, 2. Okay, that's great, but I don't have many points to play with here. So if I go, alright, take that off, I can add 1 crummy, you know, thing. Let's go, leader experience. That's it. That's all I can do. Thanks for coming. So the cybernetic tree, that should add at least 2 points, in my opinion, to here. So you can actually do something with this. The only way to do something with this is if I had more negative traits here that I could take off and then put other traits back in. But at the moment I have to take that one off. That's it. I can't do anything. I'm done. Even though I've got 3 trait picks left now. So I need to wait till I get more trait points. So I can't do much with it, which seems pretty poor to me for a cybernetic tree, that I can't do much modification to my species. So they need to add in here a couple of points. We need to see a couple of points added for this. So that's probably another gripe of mine. I'd like at least see 1 point, so that by the time you get it, you got 3 trait points to play with. So you could probably put in, you could take off a 2 point and put in a 1 point, or you could, you know, add a couple of, you could add a 2 point and a 1 point, because you've got two trait picks. So we could go, if you had 3 points to play with, you could add in a you know, like intelligent to a group of people, and then you could add in another point because you've got 2 picks left there. So, but if you had 3 picks, you could add in a 2 point and take off a 1 point, or whatever combination you want. So it is possible to really micro these species, and I do have a fair bit of work here I can do. You can see I can add a lot of things here, and let's say this guy, for instance. So he's got 6 trait picks left. But I don't have enough points. Look at this. That just... Yeah, okay, let's go. Boom, bang, bang. There you go. And that one. So I got 4 trait picks, but I haven't got any points, and I'm 79 years in the game. So this is... So I've done the cybernetic tree and all the techs I can get to now. So that's just... That's not good enough, Paradox. Come on. I want to see a couple more points. And then cybernetic would be really, really good. Probably the same as along the lines of genetic. I think genetic's still the best at the moment. All right, that's my main gripe for cybernetic. So while we're here, let's have a look at the ship designer. My ships. So I haven't really found the fleets to be too much different yet. I've been fighting a number of battles with the AI and that, and I've just crushed them pretty much in their battles so far. So I'm not really sure how the fleet really battles will work out just yet. My fleet manager, like this, I've been building, you know, a good combination of fleets: corvettes, frigates, destroyers, PD destroyers, cruisers, and some battleships. So, and these fleets are about, yeah, 150 fleet powers, and I think about 30k roughly, or 26k that one, 30k that one, yeah, 33k that one. So they all seem to be working well. I can't give much insight into how it's performing versus other fleet combinations yet. I think it's going to take a long time to work out what is the best type of ship designs. Like, you've got cruisers. One thing I like about cruisers is you can make them torpedoes. So you put a lot of torpedoes in there, and then you can also make them... Oh, I haven't got the afterburners tech yet. I've skipped it. But you can put in afterburners here. You bump up the speed, so that's going to, speed's going to go up a bit. You know, put in afterburners here. So that'd probably be I don't know, 200. It'd probably be around 200. We've upgraded afterburners in there. Then you have a look at your frigates. What's their speed? That's about the same. Even if you put one afterburner in, so the cruiser would actually be faster than your torpedo frigates. So I'm just wondering if, because it's at 100% damage of the target ship size, so the cruiser putting in torpedoes still says the same thing. This weapon does additional multiplicative damage 100% of the target ship size. So that must do, like, say, 500% damage to a battleship. That's what Paradox was saying torpedoes would do. I'm just wondering if that's limited to the frigate, or if it can be to all classes of ships. Because if you can have I can build a cruiser here that's faster than a frigate, a lot more hull points and armor and that, has 3 times the amount of torpedoes. So that's 3 slots. How much does it cost to build? 783, 1800 hull points, armor, shields. So let's look at the frigate. So 1800. So 3 frigates is only 1200. Armor would be what? 7, nearly 800. Shield. So we can see cruiser's stats are way better than 3 frigates in terms of firepower. Let's save. Let's have a look at this. Do auto complete. So let's just call that, I don't know, torp. How about that? Just save that for a second. So what's my damage? 43. So we're pumping out 3 lots of torpedoes, energy torpedoes. We've got other weapons in there. We're going to be faster than them. Can take more damage. Go and launch our torpedoes. What's their range? 120. So what's the role of frigates then? Frigates are, I guess, cheap. Okay, we've got 163. Hang on, let's put the energy torpedo in there. Now let's save it. So it's 212. So it'd be 600 and what's that? 636 alloys. So one cruise. Oh, where's my torp one? There it is. 783. Okay, so 3 frigates would be cheaper. But then we're getting all these other weapons. They don't have the same hull points. So they only have 1200 hull points for 3 frigates. The armor's only... Well, that'd be 780. I've got 1300. So I've got, another 40% armor, something like that. Shield 660. 1660. He's got 165, so that's what, 300, 480, 495 shields. So his shields are rubbish. Yeah, I've got heaps more shields. So in terms of alloys and resources spent, the cruiser torpedoes are looking to be really, really good. And that's probably, I'm going to probably adjust my fleets to do that. And have my corvettes and destroyers, have my destroyers for PD, and have these guys from my PD defense. These guys to help keep enemy frigates away from me, and obviously my corvettes. So I have my screening ships be corvettes, some destroyers, and cruiser torpedoes. And then battleships. Can we put battleship torpedoes? Don't think we can. I haven't noticed it. Nope. No. So, cruisers. Cruisers could be really, really good in that way. So, and you have your cruisers would be designed to take out your other enemy capital ships. And then your destroyers and corvettes to mop up the little ships. And your battleships there to provide the long-range artillery firepower as well to take out the enemy's cruisers, I guess, and battleships as well. So I think cruisers can be very, very powerful. Early game, yep, frigates are good, and you might be able to mass heaps of these, come up with other builds, but I'm not sure. What's the invasion? 30%. What's a cruiser? 16%. Okay, so evasion's still a bit better. Speed, damage, special values. What's that? Sensor range to piracy suppression. Yeah. So in terms of bang for your buck, I think cruisers are probably the better torpedo platform. In terms of money spent, 3 frigates doesn't equal 3 cruisers. It's very simple maths there. Okay, let's have a look at synthetic. Okay, this is from my playthrough I did yesterday, and you can see the video on my channel that I did for Synthetic Ascension. So let's have a look at that. Synthetic, so that's year 46. I finished Synthetic Ascension, so that's pretty good. That's not too bad the time frame to be able to complete it. So let's look what we get. Adopting synthetic, all machines gain, machine leaders gain a synthetic trait. Okay, that's good. Let's have a look at that. What do we get? We get research speed plus 15%, and normally research speed. Okay, that's nice. Governors, menial drone, pop resource 5%. Okay, so we're getting more minerals and energy. I like this. The Admirals, ship fire rate plus 10%, armor hardening plus 10%. But that fire rate, that's nice. So all your Admirals automatically start with that. That's nice. Actually, one thing I didn't check the synthetic leaders, did I? We'll go back and check that in a minute. Once we're finished here. Okay. So what did I think I started on this side. I went down this side first. So robotic pop amenities usage minus 10%. That's good because amenities is always a bit of a problem for machine species, as you guys would know. Robot output plus 10%. I thought that was really, really good. Let's check if it's actually working. Let's have a look. Mining drones. Machine weld 10%. Machine capital from buildings. Governor. High stability. Efficient processes. So does that mean it only applies to robot pops? But I'm not building robot pops. I'm only building my pops. Okay, so let me have a look. Robot output plus 10%. It does say robots, doesn't say machine. So where is this output? Is it up here? Machine weld 10%, machine capital 15. No, okay, let's look at another planet other than our capital. So Empire plus 50%. Is it in that? Mining world 25, from buildings 20. It should say from pop, shouldn't it? But Empire plus 50%. I wonder if that's included in that. So why did that say that in my capital? Did it say that in my capital? The mining jobs? No, it didn't say that in my capital. What about here for alloys? For buildings, Empire 10%. So maybe that could be it. That could be the Empire bonus maybe. Let's have a look. What's here? They've got no modifiers here. So I can only assume that 10% bonus is in there. But I can't really tell. So I don't really know if that's been applied correctly. It must have. Must be. What about research? What does it say? It says robot output 10%. So it should be everything, including research. Let's have a look at our researchers. From planetary features, it's relic stability, efficient processes, Empire 5%, from buildings 10, governance. So I don't know if that's being applied correctly yet. Hard to tell. Machine species trait picks +1. So did we get one there? Capital building provides 1 replicator job. Yep, I got there because we went up to 4 replicator jobs to boost the growth up nicely. So that's up to 9. And that's versus this cybernetic we just saw where my pop growth is still about 7-ish. So that's not really, and I'm 30 years more advanced than here. So we're probably going to get more replicators there. So machine picks +1. Machine modification points 2. There you go. Bang, 2 points. So you get 1 pick, 2 points. And machine modification wise 50%. Okay. Dublin synthetic grant. Where's that machine modification? Machine species. 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . All machine leaders gain synthetic trait. Okay. So let's look at our species. You can see here I've got 4 points remaining. And how many picks? I've got 1 pick. Now what technologies did I do to get them? The engineering. There's 1 point there. One point there. Can't see any others. It's all my base tech. So I got 2 points. Same from Cybernetic. I got 2 points in that one. I've got 2 points from this one. So, as we saw in the tree here, this gives me 2 points and 1 pick. Where Cybernetic, you only get the 2 trait picks. You don't get the 2 modification points. And that's one of the main differences. Cybernetic needs to have 2 points here to make it, I guess, comparable. You can take a pick away if you want, but they need to have more points to actually modify your species as well. So at the moment, only got 1 pick at the moment, but we could say take one of these guys away. Let's take away the pop assembly. Now I've got 2 picks still. So I could then go and add a nice pick. What have I got? Pop assembly, amenities, resources from jobs. So I could go, what do I need? I need energy at the moment. My energy is not so flash. So let's chuck in some energy. You know, then I can convert, you know, my main energy world, whichever one that is, convert the pops into that. So you can see I've got more ability to take off and pick a decent pick. And this is 30 years less than the other game. Remembering that. So machine or synthetic ascension appears to give you more bonuses early in terms of being able to modify your species, which is really good. So you can play around that a lot. Also you can see I don't have any faction problems because I'm a machine race, so I can go around and conquer other people and not have those faction problems, although I don't have any machine races around. I guess that's the other thing. I guess Cybernetic, you can conquer all the biologicals, and maybe that's why Paradox are sort of balancing that way. The machines, you don't have as much ability to just go around and conquer, whereas here we do. So I think we can conquer other machine species and assimilate them into our way of thinking, I think. Where's the policies, I think. Subjudication. I thought we could assimilate people into our empire. Allowed. Yeah, so I haven't conquered any machine species, but that's what I thought could happen. That's what it read anyway. Allows assimilate. Yeah, there we go. Allows assimilation of other machines into our primary species. Yes, so that's right. So if you have other machine races around, you can convert them into yours. So I guess that's a little bonus there. Overall, synthetic, I think, works better in being able to modify your species quite early in the game. Cybernetic, not so much, as you just saw, and that's 30 years more advanced than here. It's still difficult to modify your species until you get more trait picks, which is not good enough. They need to put in a little bit more trait picks there, or trait points. Take a trait pick off if you like and give 2 points, so then you can at least play around with your species and actually do a little bit more. So yeah, Cybernetic needs a bit of work. I think Synthetic works well, but I would like to see both Synthetic and Cybernetic still buffed up a little bit more. I don't think they're the equal of Cybernetic Ascension, and I'll do a video on that. Well, hopefully I'll start one today on that. And psionic, you can also get it quite early and quite quickly as well. And psionic gives some really nice buffs to all your leaders, and yeah, it's quite nice actually. Psionic, I quite like psionic actually, and I'll be doing a video on that one as well. I just want to go back to cybernetic quickly. Let's just have a quick look at the leaders. Yeah, pop upkeep minus 10% for cyborg. So that's quite nice. Research speed 5%. So that's rather, I could buff that up more. Ship weapon damage 10%. Ship weapon range 10%. So that's nice. That's a quite nice buff. The cybernetic cyborg. And for generals, just 10% flat bonus. So I think research wise, I think the synthetics are a bit better. But I guess it's a little bit of balance overall. It's not too bad. So if you've liked this video, hit that like button. Do subscribe to my channel. Make some comments if you want to make some comments. If you've got some ideas on builds, or you want me to try something out, or show some type of design or build out that you'd like to see, let me know, and I'll do my best to try and get that done for you. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.